Hello, lovely Love Advice TV community. Coach Adrian here. Sorry about all the technical issues. Trying this again one more time. I tried on my computer, I tried on my phone, and nothing was working. So I asked for my wife's phone, or my wife's computer, I'm sorry, because I really wanted to connect with you guys today. Hello, Paulina. Hello, Cecilia. Hello, Kayla. Hello, Lori. Thank you guys for connecting. You know I wouldn't miss this for the world. And I'm always excited to come live on Friday, every Friday at noon Eastern. This is the new format for Love Advice TV. This is what we've been doing for a few months now. And I like it a lot because it enables me to share some of what's been going on with me this week, some of the things that I've learned, the hot questions that I get asked about in coaching sessions. And at the same time, it enables me to interact with you guys live. And Maria is in Greece, saying hello from Greece. And I just love being able to interact with you guys in this way. So thank you for tuning in. And today I wanted to talk about this myth. I was in a coaching session yesterday with a very dear client of mine who's in the East Coast of the United States. And she told me, you know, Adrian, my friends and my family keep telling me that people can't change, And they're telling me that I should move on because people can't change. And it's really something that really struck me because I heard that same comment 3 times this week. Different clients telling me that people can't change. And I wanted to talk about that because it's a myth, and it's a myth that goes basically against everything that I believe in and everything that we stand for here at Love Advice TV. Our entire philosophy is centered around this notion that indeed you can become your higher, better self. And indeed, everyone has the capacity to change throughout their lives. The problem is that, unfortunately, there's so much cynicism out there in the world today. People just are fed up, they're beaten down, and they choose to have a negative outlook on the world, on their relationship, and on themselves. And so if you let people that have a negative outlook shape your reality, then surely you're going to be basically a byproduct of that world, that where people feel that people can't change. And if you feel that people can't change, you're basically stagnating. You're just going to be holding yourself back and preventing yourself really from creating a new relationship where you have grown, you have learned from your mistakes, and you're able to kind of move forward as a couple. The reality of it is that every single success stories that I've encountered, that I've had by the hundreds and by the thousands since I've started doing this job, are success stories of people that believe that they could change, believe that their partner could change, and made it happen. And I know that people can change because I see this happen day in and day out. And also because it's happened to me. I've been through this process. I have evolved myself. I have changed. And it's very important that I talk to you guys about some of these things that have happened to me, some of these things that have happened to clients of mine, so that you don't fall for this cynicism and this negativity that is way too prevalent out there today. So a young man who reached out to me a month ago from Texas was honestly in a bad place. He was living in a bubble. He was completely consumed by his feelings and his emotions. And the whole coaching session, he basically kept telling me, Coach Adrian, I can't lose her. I love her so much. Our relationship was perfect. She's the one for me. I never loved her like anyone else ever loved her. And he was so basically wrapped up in his feelings and his emotions that I felt that he was in trouble, that he would not be able to follow the roadmap that we had established together because he was a prisoner of his feelings and emotions. And a lot of times, many people are overpowered by their emotions after a breakup. It's difficult, it's overwhelming. And I see people turn things around, but I was skeptical with him because he was so emotional. And this is a great guy who really did everything right in the relationship, except he did too much of it. And so he suffocated this woman that actually loved him to bits. And we talked together yesterday, and I was floored. I was blown away. So this was our second coaching session. We had one a month ago. He chose to do a follow-up yesterday. He was so excited. He was in Miami and he wanted to meet in person. Unfortunately, I could not because I have a 2-month-old at home. And because our workload has been crazy at the moment, a lot of requests for coaching sessions. Anywho, I digress. And I wrote down what a quote from our coaching session, something that he told me. This is the same guy that was completely wrapped in his love for this significant other. And he told me, whether she comes back or not, the next woman that I date will be the luckiest woman in the world. And this is 20 minutes in after he shared all of the things that he's been up to, how his perspective and his outlook has changed, and how he was going to win her back. He was sure of it because of everything that he's gone through and now where he stands today. And he was so detached from the outcome that he told me, regardless, basically, whether I win her back or not, the next woman that I'm with is going to be the luckiest woman in the world. And I said, wow. You tell me people can't change after this young man basically completely shifted his life around in just 1 month. And when we're in the process of, trying to get an ex back, a month can seem like eternity. I get that. But the reality is that a month is just a month. And if you can change your outlook and your perspective in a month, I guarantee you that you can change the way that your ex feels about you and the way that your ex sees you. I see it happen every single day. It's not an easy process. There are no magical solutions or quick fixes. We are talking about true personal transformation. And I could give a damn if you broke up with your ex broke up with you, if you guys were in a long distance relationship, short-term relationship, if there's someone else. All of these situations we have seen turn around because people actually changed. And this is the message that I wanted to convey to you guys today. Don't buy into this cynicism. Don't buy into the negative outlook on the world that is so prevalent everywhere in the world today, especially in the United States, but everywhere in the world today. The reality of it is that your thoughts and your outlook, shapes your reality. So be very careful what you read, what you watch, what you choose to do with your day-to-day, because that will determine whether you'll think that ain't nobody can't change, or if you come to the conclusion that yes, you have changed and that your ex can change too. I wanted to share another story. And by the way, I told this young man yesterday and he was shocked. I told him, hey, I don't know if you're going to get your ex back. I do not have a crystal ball. Okay, if I was a betting man, which I am not, I would bet that you are going to get your ex back because look how much you've changed. And he's about to reestablish contact right now. So I can't wait to see how things play out. But I told him, regardless of what happens moving forward, you are one of my success stories. And he was in shock. And I was getting a little bit emotional myself, quite honestly. And I told him, remember, I don't do what I do to help two people get back together. We don't do what we do to help you get back with an ex. That is a byproduct of what we do. What we focus on is helping people be happy, genuinely happy. It's centered around personal transformation, personal growth. And as you go through that process of becoming your higher, better self, the byproduct is that you get your ex back. And if, like I said, if I was a betting man, I'm pretty sure that they're going to get back together. I've seen this movie play out many, many, many times before. And so that's the lesson here. Focus on becoming your higher, better self, because people can change and you can too, and your ex will as a result of your positive actions. So anyway, I was talking to another young man who's from Europe, who lives in California, who we did a coaching session this morning, and I was floored there too. This young man, or this young man, yeah, is amazing. And he was in this was more of a short-term, passionate relationship. You know the story, or you know some people, someone in your day-to-day that has gone through something like that. Super passionate relationship, very physical, very affectionate, started long distance, and he moved to California for this woman and gave up a career because of how strong he felt for a woman who's pretty free-spirited, and who basically has commitment phobias, of serious emotional baggage that prevents her from being able to settle down with this man that she absolutely loves. And so we're talking about powerful, overpowering feelings and emotions of love. And this breakup, I believe, occurred, if I'm not mistaken, 2 to 3 weeks ago. And already this man had gained amazing, amazing perspective after he basically gave up his purpose and passion and career achievements to come to California to become a freelancer for this woman who basically, turned around and was unsure of what she wanted. He had already basically outgrown the relationship and his significant other, and he was at a place where he was content. He was so detached. Yeah, he wanted to get her back, but he had truly evolved. And I was in awe, because normally it takes, a couple of months, or special people that fundamentally understand what we do, to be able to change so quickly like that. Usually it takes hard work. But in some cases, when you suffer a loss, when you lose someone you love, I'm talking death here, or when you go through a breakup, you can go through an aha moment where just a light switch goes off, and instantly you change. Instantly you realize some of your shortcomings, some of your mistakes, and your life is never the same for it. So don't give me that BS that people can't change, because I see people changing instantly. I see people changing after a few weeks, and I see people changing years later, when they were bitter, they were resentful, they hated their ex-wife, for example, and after a year, 2 years, something happens to them. Sometimes it's because they start watching our videos, and we have over 1,000 free videos, I believe, on Love Advice TV, because we love it, because we love what we do. We put our blood, sweat, and tears in giving you this content, because every time we receive a positive message, a comment, or someone emails us to say, hey, you know what, you guys have changed my life, I'm so happier now, or I got back with my ex-wife, or I got back with my kids. It just makes me so happy. That's what we're all about. We help you stay positive and stay focused on your process of personal transformation, so that as a result, you get an opportunity to create a new and improved relationship with the one you love. That's what we're about. I have, I had taken quite a few notes of different success stories that I wanted to share with you, but I don't want to take too long here, because again, I started a little bit late, and I want to open it up for some of your questions, because this is supposed to be a dialogue. So thank you, B. B's been showering us with love on this comment section here, saying that that she loves our videos. So thank you for all your support. Okay, so Alicia says, my ex-husband told me he didn't think people could change. That was one of his hangups all the time. What if I can't change? What if I'm this way and can't change? It was so frustrating. So Alicia, I believe that every human being has the potential to change. And I often in doing research have read stories about people who have done crimes, for example, and who go to prison, and who, despite having a horrific traumas in their upbringing or some disorders, are able to change and to grow. Or people who have lived their lives a certain way, and then on their deathbed are able to change and to see a new perspective. You can change. Everyone can change. It's about shifting your frame of reference. Don't stay stuck on the past. You have to be able to develop the compassion and the empathy to see what other people around you are feeling and thinking. Get away from your ego. Stop thinking in terms of you and your limitations and your shortcomings and what you can't do. Of course, your ex-husband feels that way because he's been conditioned to feel that way. He feels this way as a result of all of the mistakes, pain, trauma that he has seen, and he's disillusioned. But the way that he sees you isn't who you are. You can define who you are. And I challenge you to take it a step at a time. Take it a step at a time. Try to figure out what it is that you need to work on. Try to come up with a game plan. You don't even have to book a coaching session with us. We give so much content on our YouTube channel that, quite honestly, I see a lot of people that are able to do it on their own. Some people can't. And in that case, yes, invest in working with us, and it will be our pleasure to do so. But it takes, patience, it takes accountability, and it takes a sense of perspective to be able to identify what you need to work on and then to put a plan in place to get there. But take it one step at a time. Don't focus on the end goal of changing or becoming a certain way. Focus on the day-to-day process of evolution, of working on yourself. And then every day is a day where you will see yourself change and where you will, as a result, celebrate those small victories. Okay? Alicia, thank you for watching us religiously. I hope that this helps. And yeah, keep fighting the good fight, my dear. Okay, so Jay says he told me he will never get back with me and I've been blocked everywhere. I want to change for the better, but it's hard. Okay, so again, don't change for him. You need to change for yourself. Even if you're blocked everywhere, doesn't matter. This is your own process of growth and evolution that you're going through at the moment. So don't worry if you're blocked everywhere. People get so caught up on proving to their ex that they've changed, right? That they forget that it's about them and that they need to change. So obviously, if you're going to get back together, at some point, we're going to need to rebuild that connection. We're going to need to ensure that you're able to reestablish a communication platform in some way, right? It could be an organic encounter. It could be just an informal text or phone call, or it could be through an accountability letter, which is what we do, which have helped so many countless people all over the world because we've perfected the art of writing those accountability letters. A letter where you're not seeking validation. It is not a love letter. It is a letter where you're showcasing your growth in a positive, detached way. So again, this comes at the end. Showcasing your change becomes fun when you've actually already changed and when you're detached, when you're no longer seeking validation from your significant other. I'm fired up today. I hope you guys can feel it. I am fired up. So let's see. Okay, Simran says he's been watching our channel. Keep at it, but don't become obsessed either. The point is not to obsess over the process of getting your ex back. The point is to take valuable lessons, skills, and then to take action and to apply them in your day-to-day. We're here as support, but you can't basically drown your sorrows in watching content on YouTube. That's not going to be good enough, right? Ultimately, you need to take what you learn and take action, because otherwise there's no growth and there's no change. And then when your mom or your friend says people can't change, you'll probably feel that there's some truth to that when there isn't truth to that. Okay, so me and my ex have a child together. She ignores me and I just want to be a family. What do I do? OG Trey. You know that situations where kids are involved are very close to my heart. I always talk about those. It's difficult for me to provide you with a clear way forward because of this. I know so little about your story. But what I can tell you is that focus your love and attention on your child. Okay, don't force contact. Don't seek validation from your ex before he or she is ready to interact with you. It still is a process of personal growth, and it's about living out your change through action in your day-to-day. Again, she or he feels the way she does as a result of the way that you've made them feel over weeks, months, or sometimes years. And I don't blame them if mistakes were made. I don't blame them for feeling that way. Ultimately, though, you're going to need to be able to, again, you need a platform of some kind to showcase that the old you, the one that was making these mistakes over and over again, is gone, that you're a different person because you believe that people can change and you've manifested that change in your day to day. Okay, Jared says, my ex left me for their previous toxic ex that was very abusive. We were together for 4 months. I fell in love. Our chemistry was undeniable. Do I have a chance? I feel very sorry for you, Jared. Tell people you need to move on because you are in a toxic relationship. And when you find yourself dating someone who has come out of a toxic relationship, unfortunately, you can't save them from themselves. And all that you can do is avoid mistakes, right? At the moment, don't beg, don't plead, don't force your way back. Just have faith in what you bring to the table and reward positive behaviors from them, right? So don't let your ego get in the way. And if your ex starts reaching out, if your ex seeks support, be there without being too needy, without, again, putting them on a pedestal in some ways. You have to create passion and desire by pulling away and by living in your element, by doing the things that you do well. That's how you're going to set yourself apart. And ultimately, if your love was pure, if your relationship was strong, your ex is going to get hurt and they're bound to come around again. But I hope that you'll still be available and that you'll find it in your heart to forgive in order to rebuild a new relationship. Okay, I'm so late, so I'm gonna have to go soon. I'm gonna try to answer one more question. I had technical issues, but every Friday at noon Eastern, 12 p.m. Eastern time in the United States, I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna talk to you about something exciting that's happening in my coaching sessions at the moment, and then I'm gonna open it up for questions because this is what I love to do, to interact with people. Okay. What can we talk about here? What are we going to talk about? Okay, so I'm sorry, the questions are coming out very quickly. My ex broke up with me, and I said we will never get back together. What should I do? I want him so bad. I truly need help. So, Mary, people say things after a breakup that they don't mean, right? You're hurt, you're emotional. Just because you said that you didn't love him doesn't mean that you will be held to that forever. Ultimately, I think that I can sense that you're still very, very, very emotional. And when you're emotional like this, usually mistakes happen. And you want to make sure that you get to a point where you feel like yourself again, and when you've detached to make your move and to try to reconnect with him. Again, I don't know enough about your backstory, what you've gone through, how the breakup happened, and why, and how long you were together. So I can't give you personalized advice in this format. But it's all about taking a step back and finding yourself again, and then reconnecting with your ex in the best possible way, without being needy, without being desperate. Remember that you can change, because I see amazing people each and every day that do change and that do rebuild healthy relationships the right way, by being positive, by believing in their values, and by becoming their higher, better self. That's what we're about. And thank you for tuning in today. Sorry for the technical issues again. And I look forward to connect with you guys here again next week. Take good care and keep fighting the good fight, my friends. See you soon.